Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse, and I am back for one more follow-up video to my Be My Eyes, more specifically my Be My AI app video, my accessible app spotlight video. And I know I've done two of these already, but I've told people throughout my day job, and I've mentioned it on previous videos. There's one other thing that I really wanted to try with this app, and I think it could be very helpful for both blind and low vision users, whether you are in high school, college, work, if you're looking at something on occasion for your daily life, whatever. And I wanted to see how Be My AI worked with things like charts, graphs, schematics, diagrams, because there's a lot of those things, in a science class or biology class or even like, history. You get a lot of charts and graphs and, I mean, any subject matter really has times where they love to put things in some sort of a visual diagram or chart or graph or something. So what I did is I went on the internet and I found a whole bunch of different things. I found a variety of different types of I've got some charts, some graphs, some all kinds of different things, and we're going to go through a good few of these, and I just want to show you how well Be My AI, Be My Eyes is the main app again, and Be My AI is the new feature. And I want to show you guys how well it can work. Now, especially in a classroom context, you still are probably going to either need like maybe sighted assistance, or you're going to need like, a tactile or large print version of the graph because they may have very specific questions. And again, you can't necessarily rely on this feature being 100% accurate. And so, yes, even though you can ask follow-up questions, you may not be able to get exactly the information that you need. And more importantly, if you're taking, let's say, an assignment or a test, that would kind of be considered cheating if you used AI to go, hey, answer this question for me. Oh, what was the number of blah, blah, blah in 1993? And you're looking at this chart and you just have the AI tell it to you. That's kind of, cheating. So there are times where you may not be able to use a feature like this, but there are also a lot of times where I think it will help people. And even if you don't get a fully accurate, exact rundown of everything in the chart or graph, the description that it often will give you will at least give you an overview of what's in the chart, even some finer details. So let's go into some of these, and I'm not even going to tell you what they are until we take a look at them, and we'll just see how well it does. So I've saved a lot of these different, like I said, I went on Google, I looked up just some random types of things so I could try to find different examples of charts and graphs and tables and whatever. And I saved them to my photo library, so when I do assessments or when I do a video like this, I can show people. So let's go into our first one.
October 27th, a bar graph with red and blue bars and black. Photo.
Okay, so we have already told VoiceOver has told us it's a bar graph. Now again, I will apologize. You will be able to hear this, but you will not be able to see the kind of overlay description. It's just something when I mirror my phone to my computer, it shows the picture here, but it does not necessarily show the written text that Be My AI overlays on top of it. So you will be able to hear it though. So I'm going to go to my share button.
Photo, date, October,
and we're going to scroll, I think, all the way to the bottom.
Describe with Be My Eyes button.
You kind of moved it on
Describe
us.
With Be My Eyes button.
Describe with Be My Eyes.
Photo, date.
Here we go.
Please wait. Be My AI is writing a message.
Let's see what it tells us.
Please wait. Be My AI is writing a message.
And I should unmute it so we can hear the little. See if we hear any little.
My AI is still writing a message.
Tones here. because when it's loading, it usually will give you these little musical tones.
Be my AI. The picture is a bar. Be my AI. The picture is a
All
bar.
right, so let's just have it read here, and I'm just going to shut up and listen to the detail of what this particular bar graph is.
Be my AI. Be my AI. The picture is a bar graph that compares the performance of different graphics cards in the game Cyberpunk 2077 using DX12. The graph shows the average frames per second (FPS) achieved by each graphics card at two different resolutions, 4K and 1440p. The 4K results are represented by blue bars, while the 1440p results are represented by red bars. The higher the bar, the better the performance. Here is the data from the graph. Asus TUF GeForce RTX 3070 Ti, 4K, 49.2 FPS, 1440p, 102 FPS. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080 Fe, 4K, 43.2 FPS, 1440p, 84.6 FPS. AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT, 4K, 41.5 FPS, 1440p, 91.3 FPS. EVGA GeForce RTX 3080 TFTW3 Ultra, 4K, 50.7 FPS, 1440p, 99.3 FPS. AMD Radeon RX 7900 XT, 4K. Message, text field, clear text. Button,
Now, one
bottom
thing
of
that I
screen, describe
will,
with.
I do want to report to Be My Eyes. There's so much in this picture that I think it runs up against a character limit for their description, because it'll go through like the first few, but there is a good, I don't know, a dozen different graphics cards on here, and it just stops. So I think they need to drastically, in a way, like allow for more characters, especially for, technical descriptions like this, because I've noticed that a few times, especially when I have a picture or I'm taking a picture of something that has a lot of detail in it, and it wants to really portray as much, or give you as much detail as it can. So you see it just kind of cuts off, and if I scroll down,
Be my AI. Move to row 2 of 2.
it doesn't really scroll any further. So yeah, it just stops. That's the one. I wouldn't necessarily call it a bug. My guess is it's just kind of a design thing to be like, oh, well, if you're just taking a general picture, we shouldn't need it to be any longer. But I found a few cases where I think having the output to be allowed to be quite a bit longer would be helpful. So yeah, this is like I said, this is an example of
Describe with Be my eyes.
a picture that, this isn't even school related. Oh, I want to know,
Photo, date,
how does my
October.
graphics card perform amongst other graphics cards in this case,
Back button.
Cyberpunk 2077. So that's a cool thing.
Photo, date,
Okay,
October
here we go.
27th.
So
Photo,
now we
uses,
have
back
another
button.
photo. Let's
Toolbar,
see
share,
what this
button.
one does.
Photo, date, October. Cool guys who like games. Page 3
Let's
of
see,
3.
let's
Describe with Be my eyes. Button.
describe with Be My
Photo,
Eyes.
date, October 20. Please wait. Be my. Please
And
wait.
let's see
Be
what
my
this
eyes
one
writing a message.
says. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. We'll see what it... I don't even remember what
My
this
AI
is, to
still
be
writing a
honest
message.
with you.
Be my AI. The picture you've shared. Be my AI. The picture you've shared is a table with data on the prevalence of various disabilities among students in different school years.
Oh,
The table
yeah.
has columns and rows. The columns are school year, learning disability prevalence, intellectual disability prevalence, emotional disturbance prevalence, speech/language impairment prevalence, other health impairment prevalence, autism prevalence, other disability prevalence, special education prevalence, special education K-12 count, all K-12 students count. The rows represent different school years from 2008, 2009, to 2017, 2018. For each school year, the table provides the percentage of students with different types of disabilities and the count of students in special education and all K-12 students. For example, in the school year 2017, 2018, learning disability prevalence was 5.2%, intellectual disability prevalence was 0.5%, emotional disturbance prevalence was 1.1%, speech/language impairment prevalence was 1.8%, other health impairment prevalence was 3.1%, autism.
And again, see, it cuts off because there's just too
Move to row 2 of
much
2.
data there. Now, here's a perfect instance of, now that I know, it's like, oh, from 2008 until, 2018. So I could say, now I could ask a follow-up question. I'm not going to do it in the video, but here's an example of, now that I understand what's in this table, and it clearly defined that for me, I could say, what was the percentage of learning disability in 2012? What was the hearing disability in 2014? And that's just something like, that you might be asked to do on an assignment or a test. So again, those types of things you may not be able to use, you might not be allowed to use a tool like Be My Eyes/Be My AI, but this would let you get at that specific information in this case, because this was I was just looking up disability information and looking for, like, let's look up some charts and graphs and whatever. And I saw this chart, but it was like a graphic, so it wasn't actually a screen reader accessible chart. I'm like, oh, perfect. So yeah, there we got an actual data
button.
chart. So there's
Photo,
another
date,
example. Let's
October,
go
recents,
back one more.
button. Photo, date, October
Here's an
27th.
interesting
Two
one.
graphs with lines of text and number. Photo, recents,
So
photo, date, October 27th. Liftable subject available. Swipe up or down. Toolbar. Share. Button.
share.
Photo. Date. Copy photo. Button. Page 2. Page
We'll
3 of 3.
go
Describe with Be My Eyes.
describe with Be
Photo.
My
Date.
Eyes.
October 27th. Please wait. Be My Eyes. Right.
All
Please
right.
wait. Be My Eyes. Writing a message.
Let's see what it says. Now this is a really unconventional one. Just the way it looks.
Still writing a message.
Let's see what it says.
This is take Be My AI. The picture you should Be My AI. The picture you should Be My AI.
Okay.
The picture you've shared is Be My AI. The picture you've shared is a set of two graphs labeled A and B, showing the prevalence of distance vision impairment in 2020. Graph A. The x-axis represents age in years ranging from 0 to 90. The y-axis represents prevalence in cases per 1,000 people, ranging from 0 to 300. There are 6 lines representing different categories. Mild vision impairment, female, blue line. Mild vision impairment, male, red line. Moderate and severe vision impairment, female, green line. Moderate and severe vision impairment, male, purple line. Blindness, female, light blue line. Blindness, male, pink line. The lines start low and gradually increase as age increases, with moderate and severe vision impairment showing the highest prevalence. Graph B. The x-axis represents age in years ranging from 0 to 90. The y-axis represents prevalence in cases per 1,000 people, ranging from 0 to 500. There are 2 lines representing different genders. Female, blue, line, male, red line. This graph shows the prevalence of vision impairment from uncorrected presbyopia in 2020. Message, text field, clear text, button, send message.
And again, you get the feeling that it just ran out of space to describe the rest of chart B. So this is another really cool thing, because here's an example of there's 2 charts, like in an assignment or something, where they might want you to compare. Oh, look at chart A, look at chart B, and draw some conclusions, or, predict what is going to happen, whatever. Maybe this is a timeline or something. So it's detailed enough to give you information on both. The fact that they're all in one, both charts are in the single graphic. So again, it's very thorough. I think they just need to allow for a longer description. We're 3 for 3 here, guys. We're on a roll. We're cutting it off, actually. So we've got a fair few more of these. I don't know if I'll do all of them, but I want to...
Photo, date, October 27th.
Let's see.
Back button.
We'll skip this one just because I don't...
Photo, date, photo 309. Photo, date, October 27th.
Here's another interesting... Here's another one. Well, let's do this one.
Share, button. Photo, date, October, copy photo, but page 2, page 3 of 3. Describe with Be My Eyes, button. Photo, date, October 20th. Please wait. Please wait.
Okay, we'll let it do its thing here. Okay.
My AI is still writing a message. My AI, the picture you've shared is a set of 2 graphs that show the number of people with moderate and severe vision impairment, MSVI, and blindness by age and region. The first graph is labeled MSVI and the second one is labeled blind. Both graphs have the same x-axis labeled age ranging from 0 to 100 and y-axis labeled number of people, thousands. The graphs are area plots with different colors representing different regions. The regions and their corresponding colors are high income and Central/Eastern Europe, red, East and Southeast Asia and Oceania, blue, South and Central Asia, light blue, Sub-Saharan Africa, green, North Africa and Middle East, purple, Latin America and Caribbean, pink. In the MSVI graph, the number of people with MSVI increases with age, peaking around the age of 80 and then decreases. In the blind graph, the number of blind people also increases with age, peaking around the age of 80 and then decreases, but the numbers are significantly lower than the MSVI graph. In both graphs, the high income and Central/Eastern Europe region, red, has the highest number.
Look at that summary. I mean, it tells you the what's the legend, where it tells you on the right there, it tells you what each of the colors mean. It gives you a summary. And again, now that we understand what information is in there, you could ask it specific questions about, what about age 45? What are the values for both blind and low vision? So that's really, really cool.
Describe with my eyes.
The fact that you don't have to just get the base description, but you can ask follow-up questions is, I think, what makes this really cool. Let's skip that one because it's very similar. Okay, here, now this is cool.
Toolbar, share.
This is something totally different.
Photo, date, copy photo, but page 2, page 3. Describe with Be My Eyes, button. Photo,
and again, if you have some vision, you'll kind of see already. But if you can't, check this out. Here's something totally different.
My AI is still writing a message. My AI, the picture is an educational diagram of the human body showing various internal organs. The background is white and the human body is depicted in a semi-transparent manner so that the internal organs are visible. The organs are labeled with black text and connected to them with black lines. Here are the organs labeled in the picture. Brain, located in the head. Pharynx, located in the neck behind the nose and mouth. Larynx, below the pharynx in the neck. Heart, in the chest, slightly to the left. Lungs, on either side of the heart within the ribcage. Lymph nodes, scattered throughout the body, with a concentration in the chest area. Spleen, to the left side of the stomach. Liver, to the right side of the stomach, under the diaphragm. Gallbladder, under the liver. Stomach, located on the left side of the upper abdomen. Pancreas, behind the stomach. Kidneys, on either side of the body towards the back, just above the waist. Intestines, located centrally in the lower abdomen. Urinary bladder, located in the pelvis. Arteries.
And then, yeah, so again, it cut off. So, yeah, we definitely need more of a longer description. But again, like, look at how nice that is. It's in plain English. It makes sense. It has a logical flow. We're going from top to bottom. You know, everything from, the brain down to your digestive system and everything. And I love how it describes, it's not just like, oh, it's on the left, you have your kidneys, your lungs, your whatever, but it's literally telling you, it's like, oh, this is a little bit more on the left side, the right side. And even I think they said the kidneys were more in the back. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, so it's not really, quite in the front of the body, it's more in the back versus, it's really, I'm impressed with just by looking at it. Like, I'm not even sure, like, if this was something that I could see well enough to describe to someone, I don't know that I would be able to describe that quite as clearly as this just did. So again, bravo. Very, very nice job. Button. And I'm sure, you could ask more questions again.
Date, October, photo,
let's see what else we got. Okay, here's let's do a picture of this
photo,
here.
Date, October, add to shared album. Page
or let's
page
recognize this.
Button, photo, date, October 20th. Please wait. Be my AI is writing a message.
And then I'll tell you what it actually is.
My AI is still writing a message. My AI, the picture shows a graphics card, which is a piece of hardware that is used in computers to generate images. Here are some details about the graphics card in the picture. Brand, the brand is NVIDIA and it is a part of their GeForce RTX series. Color, the graphics card is mainly in a silver gray color with black fans. Fans, there are 3 circular fans on the top side of the card to keep it cool. Each fan has a black blade with a silver logo in the center. Size, it is a large card that would take up a significant amount of space inside a computer case. Connectors, on the bottom, there is a gold color connector that is used to attach the card to the motherboard of the computer. Exterior, the exterior has a rugged and angular design with some text and branding on it. This graphics card is likely used by gamers or professionals who require high-quality graphics performance.
Okay, and you could probably ask it follow-up questions about, like, I was curious if it would, you can't really see too much about, like, the heat pipes and everything. I mean, this is a beast. And what we're looking at here is a photo. It is a picture. This is the RTX 4070 that I currently have in my rig right now. Yeah, this is a monstrosity. It takes up two PCI slots, or it takes up 2 slots on your motherboard. And yeah, I mean, look at those ginormous fans in there. Yeah, graphics cards are just pretty beastly these days. But that was fun. I wanted to include that for you guys. I like how it described the video card. That's cool.
Photo 399 of 400.
Ah, this is cool. This one is neat. So here's another example.
Page 2 of page 3 of describe with my eyes.
Let's do another one.
Date October 20th. Please wait.
Again, this app just fascinates me. Like, I want to throw any type of image I can at it just to see what and how well it does.
Be my AI. The picture is a schematic. Be my AI. The picture is a schematic diagram of a computer system. It is black and white and appears to be a technical drawing. Here are the key components and connections in the diagram. On the left side, there is a box labeled host computer. Above the host computer, there is a box labeled memory map I/O. Below the host computer, there is a box labeled serial communication. At the bottom, there is a box labeled I/O map I/O. In the center, there are several interconnected boxes including one labeled EPROM, surrounded by boxes labeled buffer and address latch. On the right side, there are multiple vertical lines labeled address and data, with horizontal lines connecting them to the central boxes. There are also lines labeled CLK and ready connecting various components. The diagram seems to represent the internal architecture and data flow within a computer system.
So yeah, instead of being an actual picture, this is kind of a diagram of like a motherboard and all the different components and chips that are around. Again, it's not going to give me a perfect explanation of like, oh, here's where this bus is, here's where this I/O port is, or here's where this thing is, but it just gives you a general idea of even like what components and what details they're trying to highlight on this diagram. So we have We've had a biology diagram. We've had we've had a technical diagram. We've had some charts. We've had some
Photo 400 of
graphs.
405. A circuit photo.
Okay, here
Date.
we go.
Toolbar. Share. Button.
Let's do one more.
Photo.
Now
Date.
this
Date.
one,
Copy photo.
let's see
Page
how
2 of
this one
page 3 of Describe with Be
compares.
My Eyes. Button.
Let's see how
Photo.
this one
Date. April 22nd.
compares.
Please wait. Be My Eye. Please wait. Be My Eyes writing a message.
Let's see what this one does.
My Eye still writing a message. My AI. The picture is of a computer. My AI. The picture is of a computer motherboard. It's a rectangular board with various components attached to it. Here's a description of the components labeled with letters. A. This is a memory slot where RAM, random access memory, is installed. B. Another memory slot similar to A. C. This is a 24-pin power connector where the power supply is connected to the motherboard. D. This is a CPU socket where the processor is installed. It's surrounded by a square metal frame. E. This is a set of USB ports where you can plug in USB devices. F. These are PCI slots used for installing expansion cards like graphics cards. G. This is a CPU cooler. It's a square metal block with copper pipes attached to it. H. Another PCI slot similar to F. I. This is a SATA port used for connecting storage devices like hard drives. J. Another SATA port similar to I. K. This is a battery. It's a small round silver component. L. This is a set of audio ports where you can connect speakers or headphones. M. This is a blue USB port. N. This is N.
Again, it cuts off. But you know, I just realized something. I just realized something, you guys. Okay, so in this picture, they're right. It's a motherboard, and it's got all these letters surrounding the motherboard. Nowhere on this picture does it tell us what each one of those letters means. Because I think this is like, you know, in a manual where you have a diagram of all the ports and things. And then in a separate list, you have, you know, A is the RAM, B is a USB port, C is whatever. It literally inferred, like, as far as I can tell, unless I'm missing something, the AI was literally smart enough. It correlated the letters with what they were pointing to. And even though the description wasn't there, since it recognized that it was a motherboard and it knew what the components looked like, it literally is telling us just based on the picture and not even the text, because there isn't any. The fact that it had that much information and detail, I just realized that now. This just blew my mind. Because yeah, it's like, oh, I can see where the processor is. I can see, you know, I can visually make out a couple of components or pieces of the board. God, that isn't, wow, that is impressive. Because I don't see any text other than the letters surrounding the board. So it was smart enough to look at its knowledge of what a motherboard is and the components that it has and actually tie it to explaining the labels. That's a leap I never thought I would see. Wow. Call me impressed. Good Lord.
Describe with My Eyes. Button.
Okay, that was fun.
Photo.
Let's see what we got.
Date.
Maybe
April
one or two
22nd.
more
Photo
here.
401 of 405.
Oh, yes. We got to do a couple of these. Okay. Speaking of another subject matter in school, and even just in daily life,
Page 3 of
these can be the bane of my existence. Even as low vision, they're hard for me.
Describe with Be My Eyes. Photo. Date. October 22nd.
Check
Please
this
wait.
out.
Please wait. Be My Eyes writing a message.
Yeah, we got to do definitely one or two more of these. I forgot I had these.
My AI still writing a message.
This is cool.
My AI. The picture is a map of Be My AI. The picture is a map of a state in the United States, which appears to be Minnesota. The map is color-coded to represent the population density per square mile based on data from the U.S. Census Bureau in 2010. On the right side of the image, there is a legend that explains the color coding. Green represents areas with less than 1 person per square mile. Light green represents areas with 1 to 10 people per square mile. Yellow represents areas with 10 to 25 people per square mile. Light orange represents areas with 25 to 50 people per square mile. Orange represents areas with 50 to 100 people per square mile. Dark orange represents areas with 100 to 250 people per square mile. Red represents areas with 250 to 500 people per square mile. Dark red represents areas with 500 to 1,000 people per square mile. Maroon represents areas with 1,000 to 2,500 people per square mile. Dark maroon represents areas with more than 5,000 people per square mile. The map itself is mostly green and light green, indicating low population density in most areas. However, there is a concentrated area of red, dark red.
Yeah, so then it cuts off because it would probably say in the lower right or the southeast corner of the state. So again, even though it cut off, now I know what it is. I know kind of what values they're showing, and I could be like, "Oh, what is it like in, I don't know if I could go so far as I don't know if it would figure out um, let's just out of curiosity, let's
Message. Text field.
try. I'm
Double
genuinely
tap to edit.
curious
Swipe
here. Hang
insertion point
on.
at end. Dictate. Double tap. Inserted. What is the population for Ramsey County? Send message.
I
Button.
just want to see if it can
Send message.
figure out
Please
that
wait. Be my AI is
detail.
writing a message. Be my AI. I apologize. The image does not provide specific information on the population of Ramsey County. Would you like me to look up the current population of Ramsey County for you?
Yes.
At Y. E. E. S. S. Send message. Button. Send. Please wait. Be my AI is writing a message. Be my AI. As of the United States Census Bureau's estimate in 2019, Ramsey County, Minnesota has a population of approximately 550,321 people.
Okay, that's cool. But now what what it could tell me is I could say, describe the population for so it's not going to give us cities and counties. Like I can see the little representations of them, but they're not labeled. So what I could say is like, describe more about the population in west central Minnesota or northeastern Minnesota. Uh, and it would probably give me pretty decent information about that. All right, so let's we got at least one or two more here.
Photo, date, October, photo 402 of 405,
yeah,
toolbar, share,
here we go.
Photo, date, copy photo, page 2, page 3, describe with Be My Eyes, button, photo, date, October 27th, please wait, Be My Eyes writing a message.
All right, let's see what this one says.
Be My AI is still writing a message. Be My AI, the picture is a map of Be My AI, the picture is a map of the United States showing population density per square mile. The map is color-coded to represent different population densities. The majority of the map is green, indicating lower population densities. There are patches of yellow, orange, and red, mainly along the East Coast and in some major cities, indicating higher population densities. There is also a small inset map in the bottom left corner showing Alaska and Hawaii, and a legend on the right side that explains the color coding. Green represents 1 to 50 people per square mile. Yellow represents 50 to 200 people per square mile. Orange represents 200 to 500 people per square mile. Red represents 500 to 5,000 plus people.
So you get the idea. It's kind of a similar type of thing, but on a United States level. So again, I could I wonder, because it should be able to figure out the states. Let me just see what it does.
Message, text field. Double tap to edit.
Because let me see something here.
The picture is a map of the United States showing population density per square mile. Message, text field.
Yeah, let's see.
Double tap to edit. Use insertion point at dictate. Inserted the population density of North Dakota. Cleared message. Text field is editing. The population density of North Dakota. Send message.
Well,
send message button.
I dictated a little too early, but
Be My AI is writing a message.
Let's see if it can.
On the map, North Dakota is mostly colored in green, which indicates that its population density is between 1 to 50 people per square mile according to the legend.
Okay. So yeah, this one, because it can kind of know what the states are, and maybe if I would have asked that county question, if I would have answered it a little bit more exactly in the last image, I might have been able to get, because maybe instead of saying population, if I would have said population density, it probably would have made that correlation. So again, there may be a little bit of semantics here and there, but overall, that's still really impressive. So let's see, there's another map. So we got two maps.
Photo, date, photo 403, photo, date, October 27th, liftable subject available.
Oh, yes. So we are done with, we're as a bonus here. So we've looked at diagrams, we've looked at maps, charts, tables, and to wrap this one up, I was in I went to a conference a couple weeks ago, and we went to the restaurant/bar in the hotel the first night we were there, and the first thing that I did is I said, hey, let's see what this Envision, or not Envision, let's see what this Be My Eyes thing does. Let's see what this Be My AI does with the menu, because this is the way I've kind of explained um, it to people. And when I took a picture of it, it did a fantastic job. And so here is one they actually put and I think it looks like there's a curtain or something that might be blocking a little bit of it. But let's take a look at this menu and let's see.
Button.
So remember, like if you're taking a picture of a print document in something like VoiceStream Scanner, Seeing AI, Envision AI, it kind of just, it'll get you all the information. You're going to read it sequentially, and that's the way it's going to be presented. Let's see
Photo, date, October, copy photo,
what
page 2 of page 3 of describe with Be My Eyes.
Be My Eyes
Photo,
does.
date, October 27th. Please wait. Be My Eyes.
So
writing a
here's
message.
our menu
Please
for
wait. Be
our
My Eyes
bar
writing a message.
restaurant, which was pretty good, by the way. I do regret not getting the cheese curds. I
My
really
AI still
wanted to
writing a
try
message.
them. I should have with a friend of mine. Cheese curds. Yum.
Be My AI. The picture is of a Be My AI. The is of a menu from Baxter's Bar and Grill. The menu is divided into several sections. Appetizers. Jumbo wings $12. Hand-breaded and tossed in choice of buffalo, barbecue, garlic parmesan, Korean barbecue, or mango habanero. Cheese curds $9 with marinara sauce. Onion rings $9. Smoked salmon crostini $13. House smoked, ill cream cheese, capers, and red onions. Walleye fingers $13. Breaded strips with tartar sauce. Spinach artichoke dip $12 with bread. Quinoa and edamame hummus $12 with cocktail sauce. Be My AI. The picture is of a menu from Baxter's Bar and Grill.
So what's interesting is it did it a little bit differently this time, because sometimes what it'll do is it will tell you it started to tell us. Let me read the first part of this again.
Be My AI. The picture is of a menu from Baxter's Bar and Grill. The menu is divided into several sections. Appetizers. Jumbo wings $12.
Right. So it said it's divided into sections. So what it sometimes will do is it'll say it's divided into sections like appetizers, entrees, desserts, whatever, and then it'll go into the different sections and describe them. This one kind of did a little bit more of it's almost like a straight read through, which is not a bad thing. But it is kind of cool, like how sometimes it will actually give you that brief summary, and then it goes into more detail afterwards. So, like I said, there's no right or wrong, but the way that it sometimes has presented information for print documents is kind of neat, because it'll give you your summary and then you can read it all the way through. It's kind of like how you would approach a sighted coworker, student, or friend, and it's like, hey, what is this paper? And then they're like, oh, this is a handout on blah blah blah, and then they might read it to you, or that you might ask them to read a certain section or something. So I think this is going to be the last video that I do for Be My Eyes and Be My AI. But I felt that, I covered taking pictures. I covered just, covering actual photos that have already been taken, whether that's something on social media, the internet, your photo library. And, those are just like, just photos of, a person, a scene, or an object, or whatever. But I really did feel that this warranted its separate video, because, again, in school, at work, even sometimes in daily life, maybe you get a new appliance or something, and then there's a manual, or there's a diagram in the manual showing you where different things are. And so, this is a really interesting and really cool, productive use of this AI technology. It's not just for having fun. You can get some decent level of information and ask follow-up questions to understand different types of academic information, diagrams, charts, graphs, schematics, whatever. But yeah, that is kind of where we're at.
Describe with My Eyes. Button.
And I think that
Photo,
is,
date, October recent,
those
back
are we left off with the the menus here.
Photo. Date. Page
Those are
26 of 20.
the last ones that I have. So
Home. Photography.
with these 3 videos, they should definitely give you
Closing.
an idea if you do not have access to the Be My AI feature yet. This app, Be My Eyes, is available for Android and iOS. You do have to create a free account. Then when you do, if you go to, on the bottom, if you go to the Be My AI tab, you may get a message in the body of the window that says, hey, you were in the process of rolling this feature out, and you can register for beta access, because this is still all in development. This is still kind of technically in beta. So they're trying to roll it out, so the servers don't get overloaded and they can address any bugs as they come up. So yeah, I mean, you can literally, once you're registered and once you go into that tab, you just click the register button and it's like, okay, we'll let you know when you're allowed in. And I don't think it'll take too long for people to, once they're registered, to be allowed in to the Be My AI feature. But man, let me tell you, I am impressed. I am fascinated just with the wide variety of capabilities, use cases, and overall, like, yeah, it's gotten a couple little things wrong here and there, or it's fudged a few things. It's like, oh, man, no, it's not quite this. But I would say 95 to 98% of the time, like, it's been like spot on, and the descriptions that it comes up with are quite impressive. The 2 things that I would kind of want to maybe make it a little bit easier to review is, again, first off, maybe even having it as a setting. So maybe some people don't want an endless description. Maybe under settings to have an option to say, what is my character limit for responses? Because in a lot of these diagram examples, it seems like I ran out of room. It just kind of cut off the description abruptly. So I don't know if it's like 500 or 1,000 words or letters right now, characters. Maybe I could at least double that, triple that, and I could have those as options for how much detail I want. Because again, if I'm just describing a picture, yeah, I can probably get by with it in the current character count. But if there's a ton of information, complex information that you're trying to detail, something about a map or lots of things on a chart or a diagram, you're going to need more. You're going to need more room. The other thing that I would like to kind of see is, I think you can use your VoiceOver Rotor in iOS's case, and you can say, oh, let me. You can have. You can go by word or by line, but I kind of wish that the whole description, like when I explored by touch or if I flicked left and right, I wish that each little paragraph that it would have would just be like a line item at a time, and I could just flick between those instead of having like the whole body text is kind of just treated as one chunk. And it would kind of be nice just like without having to even fuss with the rotor, just to be able to like flick left and right, and it would go through each of the paragraphs as separate things. Because again, if you're looking at something that's fairly important or fairly complex in detail, you don't want to just have it rattling off everything. And I would like to be able to kind of just really quickly and easily read each one of those paragraphs and digest each one of those individually at a time. So those are the 2 things, minor things, that I would say I would like to see either added or improved. But I mean, otherwise, this is cooler than I ever expected it would be. Because, we saw things like Seeing AI, we saw things like Envision, and, it did great with those things, do great with text and money and, basically things that you can easily, that you can pretty easily tell by OCR or, I can understand money, paper money. but actually contextually describing a picture, a scene, and like the relationships between items in that scene. Because, again, you look at Envision, you look at Seeing AI, and they're a lot more basic image descriptions for their scene preview or their environment modes. And some of the grammar syntax, like I said, I always kind of go back to, it was like a computer on a chair on a table. No, you don't really get any of the relationship. There's a chair and a table in the scene, but it totally just botches the relationship. It's like, oh, there's a laptop computer sitting on a brown table uh, with a folding chair in front of it. That's how a person would describe that. And that's what Be My AI does. It's much better, much more fluid, much more detailed. And as I said, I'm mighty impressed. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Go back and check out the other two if you missed them. I actually think I might just create a small playlist just for Be My Eyes, because I've done 3 of these, and if I want to just be like, hey, check out all the crazy stuff Be My Eyes and Be My AI can do. That way I can just share one link. So it'll still be in the iOS Accessible App Spotlight series playlist, but I think I might create another playlist just for this app, because who knows what they'll have next. Who knows if I'll be inspired to do yet another video. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and right here on YouTube. Until next time, I will chat with everybody again later.